From Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill, it's time to kick off state championship weekend in the Tar Heel State. What better way than with a couple of battle-tested Class A teams, the Black Knights of Robbinsville. Well, they're likely familiar to you, but they've got a roster of individuals who've never been here. Against an upstart Wilson Prep Tigers squad, you may know them from their basketball prowess, now here for the first time in a football state championship environment. With that, we welcome you to our broadcast. What a weekend it's going to be. You're going to have 8 classifications battling it out for that many state titles across the next 3 days in 3 different locations. We'll hope you join us for all of them, or as many as possible. We're certainly glad you're here with us to get it kicked off alongside my broadcast partner, Eric Gash, Jason Patterson with you. The former Tar Heel in familiar digs here, Eric. Always nice to be in the state championship environment.
For sure, JP, and it all ends today, right? 8 state championships starting out this weekend, championship weekend. Kids have been working hard all summer. They've been going to 7-on-7s. They have been lifting weights. They've been running. They've been doing it all, and it now comes down to this. One champion.
It also comes down to Ironman football. If you like Ironman football, this 1A game is just the game for you. Comes down to playmakers. When you're talking Ironman football, let's go ahead and dive into the individuals we're keeping an eye on in this one. Who do you spotlight here, Eric?
All right, JP, so we're going to look first at Trayvon Usher. This young man here, 624 yards. He is the motor, the machine behind that. 1,800 all-purpose yards. This young man right here he needs to have an R in front of that last name for Rusher because he is indeed a load.
He's a guy we're watching on one side as we flip over to the familiar Black Knights. Who do you highlight here?
Yeah, you're going to look at Kaizik Sateski. I'm going to get better at that. 21 touchdowns overall, and then you have Luke Lovin. It starts with the quarterback right there. 1,200 yards on the year, 15 touchdowns. Everything runs through him.
All right, we turn our attention now to what this game comes down to. That stands as your Ingles food for thought. Walk us through the keys.
Yeah, for prep, they're going to have to minimize turnovers and control time of possession. And for Robbinsville, the line of scrimmage is key. They're going to have to control that, dominate it up front, and win something on special teams. A splash play on special teams could make the difference, the third phase of football.
That's the third phase of football. It's time to meet the third member of our broadcast team. Let's go field side. Here's Madison Little braving the elements for you this weekend.
Well, thanks, guys. Robbinsville's head coach, Lucas Ford, told me this is the exact moment that his athletes dreamed of as kids. This group of seniors have been playing together since they were 6 years old, but not one of them have made it to a state championship. They all said, though, that growing up playing football in the front yard, this is what that dream looked like, competing for a state title in a Black Knight uniform right here in Kenan Stadium. And yes, that stage brings nerves, and Coach Ford was honest about that, but he says that's how we know they care. He's confident this group is going to settle in, embrace it, and the nerves may even become an advantage as the night goes on. We'll be back with the NCHSAA 1A state title game when we come back right after this.
Storms can come up fast, and your roof is your home's first line of defense. Tip Top Roofing is fully licensed. Repairs to the largest residential replacements, we handle it all, including gutters and siding. As a CertainTeed Select Shingle Master, we offer up to 25 years of workmanship coverage and a lifetime materials warranty. Ask about our senior and veteran discounts and schedule your free inspection today at tiptoproofing.net.
I am so
Why can no one help you?
Waiting
This is a
to
nightmare.
work. I think healthcare is broken.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we get it.
Really?
Really. That's why we're making healthcare better for all. Starting with you. Yes, you, Daryl. We're making plans easier to navigate by putting your benefits, prescriptions, and details all in one place. Convinced?
No. But it's a start.
We'll take it. Blue Cross North Carolina. Making healthcare better for all. Starting with you.
Football state championship time in the old North State. 112 years they've been playing high school football, and 313 playoff games are behind them to reach this point. That's schools across the state of North Carolina. 1A title gets it all started, and we got Wilson Prep and Robbinsville meeting at the middle of the field. One thing we learned this week in preparation for this one, Eric, a great deal of respect between these two teams, these programs, and these coaches' staff. Both of them had tremendous things to say, not only about the way one another approaches their business, but also the schedule they played to get here.
And it's about the kids, JP. They've put the work in. You know, they're student athletes in high school, and, you know, you have to go to class, you have to take your tests, and then you have to go in the weight room and go to practice and memorize your plays and game book. And so both teams have put in so much to culminate right here at the state championship. You know, each community's got to be very proud of it.
Well, for these players, it's the first go-round. Robbinsville has all the titles, but they're the first timers here in terms of these kids on the roster, and he's brought his unit here for the very first time. One of the newer entries, one of the newer schools in the state of North Carolina. And Phil Dickens, well, he's hoping to make it a Dickens of a Christmas, right? You hear that terminology a lot. They want to celebrate a state title. You know, he talked about how some of the other athletic teams have set the tone for them, but he's got one thing in mind, and that's turn it into a football power.
That's exactly right. And he said we scheduled one of the toughest schedules in the state to prepare us for this end. And so they've been practicing and working towards that all year. They started out 0-4, but he says, nah, all roads lead to Chapel Hill, and they're excited about it.
Coach Dickens not the only one you're going to hear by that name. Manny Dickens, of course, one of the standout performers on the roster as well. His son, a father-son storyline that we'll get into as this contest rolls along. And you see Robbinsville getting just about ready to go here. Phillips, among others, who's set to try and set the tone for a group that, you know, you think Robbinsville, Eric, they know about titles, the trophy case is filled, but it speaks to something that has been done under a first-year head coach, that they're back here for the first time in a while when you consider nobody on the roster has played for a state title.
It talks about the culture that's been built there in that small mountain community in Robbinsville. They breathe football. They fancy themselves as title town as well. And they grow up thinking of playing right here in Chapel Hill for that state championship. And so it's culminated right here once again for Coach Ford. He said these group of young men have been a great group to coach, a joy to coach, he actually used. So it's going to come right now, JP.
He played there. He coached there for a long time before he became the head coach. This is his first season in that spot, and he brings them back to a title opportunity. Here is our Original Grills kickoff. Elevate your grill game at Original Grills. And this is the Original Grills kickoff for the entirety of the state championship weekend. Again, 3 venues, 3 days, 8 champions will be crowned. We're happy to have you with us in the Old North State for our little pigskin. From Carolina, it all gets started, and a return to the 45 is about all. Go ahead and walk us through what we can expect to see from this young quarterback and the surrounding cast. What do you see offensively from Robbinsville?
Yeah, they are going to try and pound the football. You know, Luke Lovin, he has 1,200 yards passing, 6 rushing touchdowns. And, you know, they run the power I and variations from that. They're going to run ISO, power. You know, he's under center right here in a trips look. And, yeah, we're expecting them to match the moment, JP.
Well, first down carry matches the moment up across that Tar Heel logo and into Wilson Prep territory with the initial carry. That's the kind of first down gain you'll take all afternoon long. Here's a look at our starting lineups, first for Robbinsville.
Yeah, and you see, once again, quarterback Luke Lovin, he's going to get everything started. And, you know, that offensive line, I'm going to highlight those fellas on both sides of the ball because it is Ironman football. But whoever wins the line of scrimmage is going to dominate this game, JP.
Yeah, there's a look at the entire surrounding cast for Lovin. You were talking about a moment ago. Number of different playmakers they can utilize as you get a look at the Affordable Dentures and Implants starting lineup. Use your 2025 dental benefits now to get the smile you deserve. Visit affordabledentures.com for the practice near you. Those are Affordable Dentures and Implants starting lineups. We'll look at the defense momentarily. They try to come up big on a 3rd down, and they do. Wilson Prep standing tall on 3rd and short. And there's a 4th down decision coming just across the 50 for Robbinsville. Here is a look at the defensive alignment for Wilson Prep.
Yeah, so I like to look at number 54, Kennedy. He's a freshman. 78 tackles, 12 sacks. This is a stingy defense, JP. 58 tackles for loss, 22 sacks, and 18 interceptions. They're going to have to play sound, gap-sound defense and dominate that line of scrimmage in order to combat against these Black Knights.
Once again, all our starting lineups brought to you by Affordable Dentures and Implants. Early test for this defense, and the football pops out, but it pops right up into the grasp of Lovin, who carries it forward. And sometimes, what do they say? It's better to be
lucky than good, JP. And you see this right here. It's just going to be a quick fullback trap, fullback dive, and he just missed it. But once again, the bounce of the ball bounced right to him, and it's going to take bounces like that in a game like this today because emotions are high. You know, you have to control that adrenaline. And, yeah, you got to get the lucky bounce of the ball.
Tip Top Roofing first down, our initial of the contest, and that will set them up at the 43-yard line. This is back about the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Tip Top Roofing is the sponsor of our first downs in this opening quarter. Faith, family, football, and roofing. Doesn't get any simpler than that. That's Tip Top Roofing. Here's another look at the first down.
Yeah,
play.
so they're just trying to run a sweep there. And once again, team speed. Wilson Prep, that's number 8, Whitaker. He has 6 interceptions and 26 tackles. Now make it 27 tackles, JP. They hunt and seek the football.
Even in the interior and some space made.